When I had my awakening, I moved out. I broke up with Pete and I moved down here to the beach for 1 week, and it was the most transformational, pivotal moment of my life. So you don't want to miss this video, guys. That's right. So when I had my awakening in 2019, I was laying in bed at our family home and Pete was out with a friend talking in the kitchen, and he triggered me so much. Something was boiling in my veins. Anger against men. Where did this come from? I had no idea. I was super asleep in 3D, in the 3D matrix, and all of a sudden I was so frustrated. I was trying to put these kids to bed. I was angry that he was keeping me awake talking. He was doing absolutely nothing wrong, God bless him, but I was just getting furious and furious. So I started searching up places to rent, to move into, to move out from the family home with the kids, with the 2 boys, to get rid of the problem. So I found a unit just here. This is the spot on the beach, at Mooloolaba Beach, down here, and I moved out the next day. I packed up a little bag of the kids and moved out to a 2-bedroom unit for 1 week. And I basically sat here on the beach praying to anything that would listen. We weren't very religious growing up. I mean, we believed in some sort of higher power that be, but we never went to church, never prayed at dinner or anything like that. But I knew the term God. And I sat here grounding to the earth and just asking for something to show me, to teach me, to help me understand what the hell was going on with me emotionally. And I went back to the unit to make the kids lunch, and I was on my iPhone, on my Facebook, and this awakening girl came up, Stacy, and she was talking about a spiritual awakening, and I was like, oh, what's this? And I just instantly was drawn to it, and my prayers had been answered. I found out that there was such a thing as an awakening, which I had no idea about, of course. And I worked out, okay, I'm having an awakening. Pete was like wondering what the hell was going on. He thought, oh God, another failed marriage after like nothing. He couldn't understand because we actually had no fight or anything like that. It was just like, okay, I'm leaving. And I basically didn't explain to him. But I didn't realise what was going on either. So then I shared with him, hey, I think I'm having an awakening. And not long after that, I moved back into the family home and I said, sorry, it's not you, it's me, and apologised for the crazy week that happened. Two months after that, I started seeing a psychologist and started working through some of my childhood trauma around my father, my mother, and my conditioning as a child. Not long after that, we scooted over to Costa Rica and did plant medicine, ayahuasca. We visited Rythmia Life Advancement Center. We were drawn to that healing process. We had no idea what it was going to entail, really, when we took medicine. We'd researched and listened to stories online, but what we came into was super deep healing into the soul, and nothing will ever replace that experience. That changed our life forever. It was a 7-night retreat, 4 medicine journeys. So we arrive, and the first night we're straight into the temple doing ayahuasca. And oh my God, that just scared the absolute shit out of me doing that journey. That first night, I had 2 cups of medicine and I didn't realise how sensitive I really was and how scared internally I really was. The medicine played back to me who I was. It showed me a movie playing back to me that I was in this circus in 3D matrix, juggling all these things, all to feel empowered, all to feel good. So I had control of my life because I didn't have control as a child. I didn't have safety as a child. I felt insecure, low self-esteem. I hated the way I even was, the way I looked. It showed me like a African woman walking up the stairs with all these logs on my back, with all these children hanging off me. And that was an interpretation of my life, what I was living in the 3D matrix. It was like trying to control everything, hustle and have the beauty of both worlds, kids and work, and having it all together, you know. And I realised I was so unhappy underneath all of those facades, all those layers. It showed me that I was just broken, my soul was split, my heart was dark and cold, like a cold cave. And I'd been dwelling in this unhappy life, emotionally, feeling emotionally detached from the world, but trying to, you know, solve it with 3D businesses, more hustling, more children, just to fulfill that void that I didn't want to look at. So it showed me my heart, it showed me my brain, how unconscious my brain, my neural pathways were, how disconnected and disjointed, like a hose with all kinks in it, stopping the energy flow of positive energy and thoughts. So what I had was a really rough first night, and after the first night I was still quite high on the medicine, on the psychedelics. Like, we'd never done that before, any psychedelics. We'd done some partying in, you know, the earlier years, but never psychedelics. So it was a big shock to my system. And we were back at the room and I said to Pete, I'm not doing the next 3 nights, I'm going home. I can't believe we spent all this money to come here. I was resisting the healing, and he's like, it's all right, let's just go to sleep. You don't need to think about it now. We'll think about it tomorrow. I'm like, no. And I got on the computer in my state and I was trying to get flights out of there. Oh, and he's like, woke up the next day and I was just a hot mess, like really, like just so that I had been cracked open and I was in like crazy mode. Like, I was walking to breakfast the next morning and I had a breakdown on the path going to breakfast, just so sad. So anyway, I ended up going to the rest of the medicine journeys and healing more and more. Merging back with my soul was one of the highlights, and starting to heal my heart, but I still had a lot of work to do. So over the last 3 years, we've been diving deep. We sold our 3D businesses and we had the money to heal and work on ourselves, which is the most important thing that you could ever do on this planet. That's why we're here, to heal and to get to know thyself, right? To find the original source blueprint that we originally was, before we ascend back up home to source. And one of the ways you can do that is coming to this earth and having experiences through emotional experience, physicality. When you're in a higher vibration, in a higher dimension, you're actually not experiencing, there's no time. So time is actually a beautiful teacher, because you get to have physical time in this slower vibration in 3D matrix. So it's all a gift. And it's all soul growth. So we ended up coming home on the plane. The Palladians started talking to us. It's like, what the hell's going on here? Pete, are there even ETs? There's like beings talking to me. And he's like, what? And like, we were just like, aliens even real? Like, we were so asleep in 3D. So they started talking to us saying, yeah, we're like your star brothers and sisters, remember? This is all a plan. You were going to drop into the planet and then have an awakening, and we were going to start communicating with you, and then you're going to start teaching galactic consciousness and bridging the gap between your planet, humanity, into the stars. And remember the galactic family? And I was like, whoa, this is way too much for me, you know, I've just had this psychedelic experience and now we're walking into aliens. What the hell are my friends and family going to think about me now, you know? Anyway, we get home, the whole house changes, our life changes, Awakening Education was born. We cleared out all the TVs, we started doing beautiful meditations and candle light energy healing, chakra. We started teaching the kids chakras, that they had energy centers. Our diet changed dramatically. We stopped eating fast food, we stopped eating manufactured food. We just went deep. We doubled down on our healing journey, and we knew that that was what we had to do in order to fulfill our mission on the next chapter. And the next chapter was healing thyself, getting to know thyself, raising our vibration. And then we walked into Awakening Education, where we were here to guide other souls in what we just had done in such a short period. We'd had all the business experience in the world, so we knew how to activate awakening education, the actual physical business, and how to do a logo and how to work the system online and Instagram and YouTube and all the rest of it. But we were sending out a different message. The frequency of our message was actually real, and it's in truth with the universe and the source creator. It was pretty profound transformation over the last 3 years. I'm so grateful for it. I'm so grateful for everyone that believed in us, that watched us move from insurance brokers to Amazon sellers into galactic, into truth, into consciousness, into awakening, into the soul, helping people merge back with their soul. It was such a unique experience this last 3 years, and I feel like we went to Costa Rica, we just got back from Egypt, and that Egypt trip was just to clear out the root chakra, clear out where humanity was seated in Egypt. Those lands are so powerful, potent, that soul fragments were coming back to me on that trip. Root chakra, flashbacks of in the trenches, sex slave, being a sex slave, having horrible lives, horrible experiences, but gifted experience now in hindsight. Beautiful experience of duality, of the lows and then of the highs, being a student of Thoth back in the days of ancient Egypt, flooding from Atlantis, surviving Atlantis and coming to the pyramids and being a student of Thoth that wrote the Emerald Tablets, and then getting requested to take all of the consciousness learnings from Thoth out to the world to seed, because the civilization needed to be seeded again. And here we are again, Pete and I, seeding, and many other warriors around the world, seeding this information back out again, helping humanity get out of the slumber, the sleepy slumber of 3D matrix, and learn about consciousness, learn that they've got a heart, they've got a soul, that they're, we're on this planet, but there's all these other planets and life forms out there as well. And we're infinite. This is not just the body that we only have. This is one of many versions. And I feel like the Egypt trip was the ending to that first phase of our awakening. And now we're like moving into stage 2. So I just thought it was like relevant to sit here on the beach and share this beautiful kind of moment that I'm experiencing right now, the story, where it all began. A lot of people ask us, how the hell did you get to talk to the Palladians or Tyrians? How did you get to the galactic and go to the starship and the UFO? How was this all unraveling for you? It's like, well, here's the story. This is the truth. We weren't always like this. We're not velvet hippies smoking anything. We're 3D, matrix, born and bred like you, like many of us. This is how the awakening happened. The frequency blasted my seed open. I was angry at Pete, I got triggered. The trigger helped me have the awakening. So if you're getting triggered, if you're fighting for an answer, if you're praying to God for anything that would listen like I did, here is the video. So if you feel called to share this around, maybe your friends and family are going through something, they're not going to talk about it. They're going to go to ground and quiet because they feel something's wrong with them. Share this video. It could encourage them to have a spontaneous awakening, to help them understand what the hell's going on. This energy this month for March is going to be intense. Solar flares are going to come off the sun, and it's going to help activate more souls and seed more awakenings. So if this video could help someone else, that's why I'm doing it. That's why I'm sharing this story, because we have to share our story so people can realize that this is a story and this could happen to them as well, and it will be happening to them, and it probably has happened to you if you're listening to this. So comment below if you've got an awakening story similar to this. Tell me about your awakening story. We'd love to hear your story. It's a beautiful story. That's your journey into the truth, into love, into unity, back into the universal creation flow state. It's like in here now. It's not exterior to us, it's in here. The connection to ourself first. We have to lay the foundation of the house, make sure that solid concrete slab is thick and strong internally here. That's why we do the awakening. And then we receive flow state and abundance, and we manifest a life that we truly desire. We create our reality from a clear conscious, not from false beliefs and programming that we've been manipulated from our childhood. It's all good, all parts of the story. It's all a gift, because that's how we get to this point. We have to be grateful for all parts of the journey. But it's such a beautiful day. I just thought I'd share this wonderful magic. There's the sun. Remember to connect to the sun. Such a peaceful place for this awakening. So here we go into chapter 2, guys. Sending you lots of love and light. Wishing you a beautiful day. I love you. You're doing such a good job. I love you. Goodbye.